for 2 miles.
All right, now I got another story for you. It used to embarrass me. It used to shame me. But 2 times ago, it stopped shaming me. And that's dropping your bike. That's dumping it. I dumped it, was it 2 years ago, I think it was? I think it was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. I was practicing in the lot with Moose and Harley Trick. And when I was practicing a U-turn, I didn't give it enough gas, so I was in an incline, and the bike flopped over on the right side. And I went flying off and bang, bang, little noggin. I had my helmet on, I was fine. And now somebody saying, "You banged your head, did you get a new helmet?" Yes, I did. I got a new helmet. Not because I banged, just because it was an old helmet. "You should always get a new helmet the moment you even tap that thing." Alright, thanks. So anyway, I went to lift up my bike and I told Moose and Harley Trick, don't help me. Because I learned this from the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. I learned how to do this. So I went around to the left side of the bike, put the kickstand down, and I got down in a crouching position and I pulled the handlebar in with my butt up against the seat and grabbing the back rail, the crash bar, and I, let my legs do the pushing and I walked the bike back up to upright. Man, was that hard. Going uphill like that, the heaviness of the bike, whoo-wee, that was hard. And I was, from the heat of the day and from my tiredness in general and my old fatness and out of shapeness, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I had to sit down. Whew, that was tough. And that's when I made a video after saying, if your bike goes over, ask for help picking it up. Don't be a hero. I mean, if you're young and fit and woohoo, go right ahead. But if you're, questionably fit or middle-aged or whatever, and you could injure yourself, ask for help. So you might be saying, "Mike, why are you telling me this old story?" Well, I'll tell you. Yesterday, I was practicing in the lot on the way home from work. So I had worked, from 8 to 5. And I was going home. I wasn't filming. And I was doing my usual practicey stuff. And then I decided I was going to go home. I was done. And I did pretty good. So I'm getting home, and I always want to check my mail. But the problem is, when I pull up to the mailbox, it's beyond my driveway, so I have to turn around to come back. So I figure what I usually do is I get onto the end of the street and I make a U-turn and then I come back. Or I go all the way around the neighborhood and come in the other way. This time I thought, let me turn by the driveway of my neighbor. And so it was like, imagine, I'm trying to see if there's anyway, there's a driveway on the left side. And there's a mailbox on the left side of that driveway. And so when I made my U-turn to come around, I just wasn't doing it right. My throttle position wasn't right. My head wasn't in the right place. I wasn't leaned correctly. I was target fixating. It was like a comedy of errors, a perfect storm of stupid. And so the only danger with this bike is if you don't have the right throttle position and you're doing a turn of some kind, the way your hand is might jerk the throttle and cause the bike to lurch forward when you don't want it to. And so that started to happen. And that happened to me twice before. Once I almost crashed into Moose up in Michigan. And the other time I was at a gas station and I almost hit a gas pump. So I grabbed the front brake as hard as I could in the middle of that turn, like I did both other times. But this time the difference was there was a slight incline to the driveway. And because of that incline and the slamming on brakes the way I did, it caused the bike to go over to the left, and there was no way I could save it. And so down it went, and I went rolling off and banged my little noggin. Get a new helmet! No. I didn't bang it hard. Get a new helmet anyway! No. I can hear you now. You're not safe. So, I immediately, I was fine, and I got up and I thought, okay, I've screwed up. I was trying to do something and it didn't work. And I know why it didn't work, because I was a dumbass. Didn't kick myself, didn't get mad at myself. I just, mistakes happen. I was trying something and it just didn't work out. So, I turned the handlebar in, put my butt up against the seat, crouched down real low, grabbed the grab rail, the one that's too small for passengers, but it's perfectly fine for lifting up a bike. And man, I walked this bike up in no time flat, on an incline, against the incline. I thought this is going to be hell, just like it was with the Harley. And nope! Easy breezy Japanesey. That bike popped right up. I got the kickstand down, no problem. The weight of the bike, it didn't feel heavy hardly at all. Man, it was awesome, because this has got a very low center of gravity. Lower than the Harley. And so, yeah, no problem. I turned the bike back on and continued on my way. It took about not more than 25 seconds, the whole thing, from going down to getting back up and leaving. Nobody saw it that I know of. There might have been somebody in their house looking. There's no cars coming, no people walking, nobody out, so. And then I got in the garage and I looked and I saw no damage, so that's a good thing. I'm a happy guy. So why am I telling you this? Why am I sharing with you this possibly embarrassing story? Because it's not embarrassing. It happens. They always say there are those who have gone down and will go down, whatever. I don't know about the accuracy of that statement. I don't know if it's a truism or not. But I do know this. When you're practicing difficult things, like slow U-turn parking lot type things, part of that practice involves dropping the bike. There's a video I watched on YouTube of the motorcycle officers from around the country learning how to become motorcycle officers. And they get on their, big old Harleys. In this case, it was Harleys. And they were doing all kinds of stuff. And man, they were dropping bikes left and right. Constantly. And that's part of the process. And that's when I realized, oh, I get it now. It's not a mark of shame. It's not a mark of, you're not a real biker. You're not a skilled biker. How do you get skilled? By practice. And practice means making mistakes. There are some people out there who can ride cross-country 7,000 times. They can ride on the dirt for thousands of miles. They could do one of those long way around Ewan McGregor things and ride their bike thousands of miles and never once lay the bike down. But ask them to do a U-turn in a tight spot, and they're sitting there doing the three-point turn thing, right? Or, Isle of Man TT racers who can go down the road at 300 miles an hour. Ask them to do one of those tight U-turns, or do a quick 90-degree turn from stop, full lock, and they're like hesitant. So I think that practicing is important, and if you're practicing, you're going to be making mistakes, and some of those mistakes might involve going down. And you shouldn't be afraid of that. Nobody wants to damage their bike, of course. But the fear of damaging your bike, I think, is a dangerous thing. It's going to cause you to be more timid than you need to be. And that could injure yourself. You're more important than the bike by a long shot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my little message for today. Practice, it may not make perfect, but it makes better. And if you drop your bike, it happens. Happened to me yesterday. So now I've dropped this bike. The bike is fine, and I'm fine. I had a little bit of muscle soreness because I'm just not used to using them. I'm like that Neo scene in The Matrix. Why do my muscles hurt? Why do I feel so weak? Because you've never used your real muscles. So I haven't used them in a while. Got to do that more. It's my Kaylee 7 on the way to Granite Falls, North Carolina. I'll talk to you later.